Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
I'm Colin Jost. A top FEMA official revealed in an interview that he once mysteriously teleported to a Waffle House 50 miles away, which is a phenomenon better known as drunk driving. Well, the longest government shutdown in history finally ended after 43 days. And you know, first day back in the office, you got to check all those piled up emails. This is fun. A Canadian woman was fined more than $25,000 for illegally importing bull semen. Meanwhile, in the U.S., bull semen is sold legally under the name White Claw. Come on, dude.
That's a good one. Come on. Stop it.
Goldman Sachs is reporting that if Joe Biden wins the election and Democrats regain control of Congress, the economy will recover faster. I don't have a joke for that. I just wanted to point out that Trump's only thing he says he's good at is the economy, and then the economy itself was like, I'm voting for Biden.
Who's still on the fence about this election? Whether you're voting for Trump or Biden, you definitely made up your mind, and you're probably not thrilled about it. These choices are so bad that Kanye's running, and people are like, maybe? That wouldn't happen if we had actually good candidates. When Kennedy was running against Nixon, nobody was like, what about Little Richard?
Rudy Giuliani is denying he did anything wrong after a controversial scene in the new Borat movie in which he's alone in a hotel room with a female reporter, puts his hands down his pants, and appears to start touching himself. Unfortunately, we can't show you the video, not because it violates standards, but because anyone who watches it dies in 7 days. Jared Kushner, who always looks like a child dressed up for a funeral, Jared said Monday that black Americans have to want to help themselves if they want to be successful. Yeah, I don't know if I trust a guy who thinks the black experience is the highest tier at American Express.
Trump has reportedly said to allies that he will have to be dragged out of the White House kicking and screaming. Good. I don't know what that is. It was reported that President Trump has been discussing the possibility of issuing a preemptive pardon for Jared Kushner. His price? 1 night with Kushner's wife.
President-elect Joe Biden has emphasized his commitment to vaccine distribution by promising 100 million shots in 100 days, which is also his Botox routine. A man in New York State was trapped inside his car for 10 hours overnight when a plow covered his car in 4 feet of snow. Even more amazing, his wife believed that story.
Biden signed an executive order repealing Trump's ban on transgender people serving in the military. Fortunately, yeah, it's good news. It's good news, except Biden is calling the policy "Don't ask, don't tuck," which is not good news. Bezos announced that he is stepping down as CEO of Amazon later this year. I'd just like to finally spend some time with my family, said Amazon workers. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who was the real-life model for Mo Sizlak, announced that more New Yorkers will be eligible for the COVID vaccine beginning next week. New Yorkers will have to provide documentation of their condition and answer medical questions like, what's the matter, you? Kim Kardashian has filed for divorce from Kanye West. And I really sympathize with Kanye because I know from experience how difficult it is to have to move that many sneakers out of a white lady's apartment. Researchers studying the remains of a woolly mammoth have uncovered the world's oldest DNA sequence. In fact, it's so old, Andrew Cuomo is covering up its death.
During the Golden Globes this Sunday, a new commercial will air that will be the first to ever show lactating breasts on television. Unfortunately, those breasts belong to the green M&M. Mitch McConnell, seen here authorizing the vet to put his kid's dog to sleep, he said that he's open to the discussion of gun control laws, but what he's not attracted to is something that doesn't work. And you know he's attracted to something because his neck pouch will inflate.
So woke. President Biden is reportedly determining if he has the legal authority to cancel student debt through an executive order. Come on, man, just do it. I think the country can afford one reckless action after 4 years of President Kool-Aid Man.
California Governor Gavin Newsom, who asks his barber for the American Psycho. He has announced a complete reopening plan that critics are saying is just a distraction from the governor's many scandals. It's a move that has other governors asking, did it work?
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who played the short bully in A Christmas Story, signed new restrictive voting laws that limits the locations of drop boxes and new requirements for voting by mail. Wow, since when does Florida care so much about the law? You know, last time I was in Florida, I saw a lady lighting fireworks with a crack pipe. Worst gender reveal ever.
The CDC said that a number of new studies show that the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are effective against new variants of COVID. The CDC also said that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is trying really hard, you guys.
In the wake of the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas, insiders praised President Biden's light touch when dealing with Benjamin Netanyahu. But in fairness, everything Biden does involves some kind of touch.
At the UN General Assembly on Tuesday, Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad predicted the defeat of capitalism. Predicted? At this point, it's more like he noticed. During his speech, Ahmadinejad suggested that Americans were behind the September 11th attacks, which brings us to a segment we like to call CNN fired newsman Rick Sanchez Friday, one day after he called Jon Stewart a bigot and suggested that CNN is controlled by Jews. In the end, Sanchez was done in by his Achilles heel, his mouth. In an effort to drum up Wednesday that he is seriously considering a run for president in 2012, though I'm not sure that we're going to solve the unemployment crisis with a guy whose catchphrase is, "You're fired." Last Saturday at 7:30 in the morning, Virginia Thomas, wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, left a voicemail for Anita Hill, urging Hill to apologize for her 19-year-old Senate testimony that Clarence Thomas sexually harassed her. Wow! A portrait of former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani was unveiled publicly in the city Tuesday, and I'm proud of New Yorkers because by Wednesday it only had one penis drawn on it. For an ad campaign aimed at ending the bullying of gay teenagers, Cindy McCain, the wife of Senator John McCain, broke with her husband and called for the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Loophole! Survey ranked Portland International Airport as the best in the country, while New York's LaGuardia was ranked the worst. Not even the worst airport, just the worst. Julian Assange was arrested on Monday, and now all Americans can sleep easy, knowing they have nothing more to fear from the bad man who wanted them to read. Obama said Thursday that the U.S. is on track to achieve its goals in Afghanistan, but that the gains in many areas are fragile and reversible, which may be true, but it sure makes for a super crappy banner. Jerry Brown was sworn in Monday as governor of California nearly 28 years after he last served in that same office. Brown says that his first order of business is to find that loose floorboard where he hid his weed. Thursday, that just 3 weeks after Elizabeth Edward died, John Edwards proposed to his mistress, Rielle Hunter. So the two of them can look forward to many, many years of being booed in restaurants. Rules released today by the Department of Agriculture, schools around the country would have to make drastic changes in their lunch menus, including offering students more fruits and vegetables and limiting their French fries, which I think means the French fry is about to become the prison cigarette of public schools. Opportunity to half-heartedly applaud the idea of solar panels. Yeah, okay. Never gonna happen. During the address, President Obama also called on Americans to do big things. So get ready for the news this week. And with a story of this magnitude, it can be difficult to keep up Which brings us to a segment we call that social media played in overthrowing Hosni Mubarak. A man in Egypt has named his daughter Facebook because he sure wasn't going to name her Zuckerberg. Reports that on Good Friday, Pope Benedict will appear on Italian TV and answer 3 questions submitted from viewers about Jesus. Of course, the real question is, can he answer them faster than Watson? This week, we'll begin examining whether there is a link between artificial food coloring and hyperactivity in children. Just to be on the safe side, Kellogg's is introducing Beige Loops. Kate Middleton will have 6 hairstylists helping her on her wedding day. And if I understand the role of princess correctly, all of those stylists will be cartoon bluebirds. Al-Qaeda on Friday released a statement confirming the death of Osama bin Laden. They also announced that as a result, Monday will be a half day. In the wake of President, 30-year-old son of Osama bin Laden complained Tuesday that his father was executed by the U.S. rather than being captured and given a fair trial. What makes him even angrier is that everyone thinks he's the guy from Counting Crows. Announcing that he would not run for president, Donald Trump insisted Monday that if he had stayed in the race, he would have won the primary and the general election. Pretty bold when you consider the fact that he's not even winning his time slot. Slogan. Presidential contender Herman Cain on Wednesday criticized the Occupy Wall Street protesters, saying, if you don't have a job and you are not rich, blame yourself. A philosophy that should make for an interesting campaign slogan. A security program is being tested at Boston's Logan Airport, in which TSA agents try to screen out possible terrorists by talking to travelers and asking questions such as, where are you going and how long are you staying? Then they simply arrest anyone who answers to be with Allah for all eternity. Failsafe. Monday filed for divorce from Chris Humphries, her husband of 3 episodes. In presidential debate, Governor Rick Perry made an embarrassing mistake when he vowed to close 3 government agencies if elected president, but could only remember the names of 2 of them, though in an ironic twist, he did remember the Department of Education. Became the first Republican presidential candidate to receive Secret Service protection after he filed a request with the Department of Homeland Security because it's dangerous out there for Cain. You never know when some lunatic might walk right up out of the crowd and ask him a question. Senators will participate in a Secret Santa gift exchange that will involve members from both parties. The way it works is the Democrats will give the Republicans a gift, and that's it. Tuesday protested the governor's decision to refer to the State House Christmas tree as a holiday tree, and they really don't like his decision to refer to Jesus as December Man. Falling in the polls on Wednesday began attacking frontrunner Newt Gingrich by calling him zany. Oh, snap, said the voice in Mitt Romney's head. Rick Santorum received a lot of attention for the sleeveless V-neck sweater vest he always wears. Wow, he's so anti-gay, he even refuses to dress well. 56% of Mormons believe the U.S. is ready for a Mormon president. Hey, not bad, said the wrong Mormon. Chris Christie is being criticized for calling one of his critics numbnuts for equating gay marriage with the civil rights movement. You know, the great thing about Chris Christie is you never forget which state he's governor of. You never forget. Friday said he is concerned about the Pentagon's new policy allowing women closer to frontline combat, noting that men would have emotions seeing a woman in harm's way, which I have to say is a compelling case against having men in the military. This week, they expect high profits this year, due in part to increased ad revenue from Republican presidential candidates. Because if you could find this lady believable as a cop, you might find this guy believable as a president. Snooki is reportedly pregnant, and insiders are extremely concerned how this will affect her upcoming spin-off series with JWoww. But no one is more concerned about Snooki's pregnancy than this insider. Santorum today won the Kansas caucuses, beating Mitt Romney by 30%. Santorum was expected to do well in Kansas because it's also a giant square. Announced Thursday that Matt Lauer has signed a new deal that will keep him as host of the Today Show and doubles his salary to $30 million a year. So I think the answer to where in the world is Matt Lauer might be buried under strippers and blow. Producers have announced plans to make an animated movie about Ivan, a German cow who escaped a slaughterhouse last year and evaded capture for 3 months. The movie will be titled The Cow Who Did Not Follow Instructions. It's an uplifting tale. Unveiled his re-election slogan, Forward, which is strange because it seems like every forward I get is anti-Obama. Thursday accused President Obama of taking political advice from his daughters, who she suggested were watching too many episodes of Glee, which would also explain why Obama kept referring to the primaries as regionals. Bloomberg on Sunday gave the commencement speech at the University of North Carolina and criticized the state's same-sex marriage ban, and nothing forces Southerners to rethink their ways like criticism from a Jewish New Yorker. Mitt Romney is offering donors a chance to win a ride on his campaign plane, but if you know how Mitt Romney travels, this is one contest you don't want to win. Speculation that Mitt Romney applied a self-tanner to dye his face brown before addressing a town hall on Spanish-language TV. Speculation he looks like my dad's recliner. Though I think his appearance at the Veterans Town Hall was even more pandering. To say that if elected, he would no longer borrow money from China to pay for PBS. China funds PBS. I guess that explains why this week's Sesame Street was brought to you by the letter this. Thursday's debate, Vice President Biden repeatedly criticized Paul Ryan's statements, calling them a bunch of stuff. In fairness, a bunch of stuff is the entire text of the Romney-Ryan economic plan. The Democrats are saying that Latino voters will decide who wins in 3 key states, Colorado, Florida, and Nevada, or as the candidates are now calling them, Colorado, Florida, y Nevada. Bueno states. The officials are saying that the city's flooded subway system may be running at full capacity sometime next week, which would be amazing since it never has before. Election 19 women will now hold seats in the Senate, which is the highest number ever, and no one is happier about that than the pantsuit industry. In a conference call with major donors on Wednesday, Mitt Romney said President Obama won re-election because he gave big gifts to targeted groups such as black people, Hispanics, and younger voters, though some believe Obama won because of the big gift he got from Republicans. Of New York City's public advocate Bill de Blasio, who is considering a run for mayor next year, issued a statement this week explaining that she was a lesbian before she married her husband in 1994. So it sounds like he's just the man we need to turn things around. Pope Benedict answered questions about faith from Catholics using his Twitter account, though he gave up pretty quickly because autocorrect is hell on Latin. Revealed this week that Notre Dame linebacker Manti Te'o, who was inspired to be a Heisman caliber season by the death of his girlfriend, was actually the victim of an online hoax and that the girl never existed. Which is not as weird as the fact that a Samoan Mormon who plays football for a Catholic school actually does exist. Sunday tweeted in Latin for the first time in an effort to revive the ancient language. Because when you're looking to revive a language, you turn to the place where people spell later with an 8. The Obama administration was made public Monday that justifies the use of drones on American citizens in the war on terror, news that much of the American public learned about from this drone. The memo is still unclear on whether drones may be used only for a just cause or the more far-reaching just cuz. For 5 days, the Carnival cruise ship Triumph was towed into port in Mobile, Alabama, finally ending the vacation the couples aboard will forever remember as his idea. Leaving the papacy on Thursday, Pope Benedict flew on a helicopter to Castle Gandolfo, where he will spend the next few months, I'm guessing, trying to kill James Bond. Carlos Slim tops the year's list of the richest people in the world with an estimated wealth of $73 billion, which in pesos works out to infinity. Infinity pesos. 500th anniversary of Ponce de Leon discovering Florida. He made the discovery in 1513 while searching for a way to avoid child support payments. Catholics who have drifted away from the church in recent years because they felt the leadership was out of touch have been drawn back by Pope Francis, who many see as more grounded. You know what? I think it's the Chucks. I think it might be the Chucks. Coburn has introduced a new gun background check plan that would allow people to perform self-background checks before buying a gun. The way the plan works is it doesn't. To women, the NRA is highlighting a number of products for women's self-defense, including purses with hidden handgun pockets, because if there's one thing women are good at, it's quickly retrieving something from their purse. Minnesota this week became the 12th state in the country to legalize gay marriage, so finally, Minneapolis can stop pretending St. Paul is just its twin.
In an interview this week, Iran's new president Hassan Rouhani distanced himself from his predecessor Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and acknowledged that the Holocaust was real, which I believe is the very definition of the least you could do. In an interview this week, Iran's foreign minister praised Americans, saying they are nice, peace-loving, generous people who come to the aid of people in need. The surest sign yet that the Middle Eastern nation is embracing Western sarcasm. After 16-year-old Malala Yousafzai, who the Taliban tried to kill for promoting education for girls, was not given the Nobel Peace Prize this week, the Taliban said her loss was very good news. So on top of everything else, the Taliban is also pretty catty. Secretary of Health and Human Services Kathleen Sebelius said this week that President Obama did not know about the healthcare.gov technical problems until after the site's launch. In a statement she delivered from under the bus. The healthcare.gov homepage has been redesigned and the picture of the anonymous woman has been removed. Said President Obama, "There, all fixed."
Featured on the healthcare.gov homepage said this week that after the law's flawed launch, she became the victim of cyberbullying. But that's the risk you run when you choose to get into the glamorous, high-stakes world of stock photo modeling.
Toronto Mayor Rob Ford said in an interview this week that he would have admitted to smoking crack sooner if anyone had asked him the question, "Have you smoked crack?" rather than "Do you smoke crack?" And much sooner if anyone had simply asked, "Would you like some crack?" Vice President Joe Biden this week visited China and urged young students there to challenge their government, teachers, and religious leaders. Then his punk band finished the rest of their set.
A new poll shows that 59% of Americans want the FAA to keep its ban on cell phones used during flight, while the other 41% want you to guess where they're calling you from. This week that he's considering running for governor of New York. Explained Trump, "If I'm not constantly in the news, I will die."
The Chuck E. Cheese restaurant chain was sold this week for nearly $1 billion, and now he insists on being called Charles E. Cheese. Senator Mike Lee will deliver the Tea Party response to President Obama's State of the Union address next week. It's expected to be the exact same text of Obama's speech, but delivered in this voice. A former speechwriter for President Bush accused President Obama of plagiarizing parts of this week's State of the Union from Bush's 2007 address. I have to admit, it was a little odd when Obama suddenly said, "Man, I'm super bad at being president."
North Korea on Thursday launched 4 short-range missiles into the East Sea as retaliation against a wave that knocked down Kim Jong-un. Radio Shack announced this week that it will be closing more than 1,000 of its stores. Radio Shack's profits have fallen in recent years due to stiff competition from the March of Time. A report on the Bridgegate scandal, which was compiled by a team picked by New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, was released Thursday and clears the governor of any wrongdoing. And you can totally trust it because it was fact-checked by independent investigator Trish Trishti. An increasing number of drivers from Colorado are reporting when they're out of state, they're being profiled by police who pull them over searching for marijuana. Or perhaps, for some strange reason, people from Colorado are getting more paranoid. Kim Jong-un this week was re-elected as leader of North Korea, winning 100% of the vote, easily defeating his challenger or else.
President Obama's approval rating this week fell to an all-time low of 41%, though his jeans are still at an all-time high.
While Western leaders were debating further sanctions for Russia for annexing Crimea, Vladimir Putin this week attended a Russian military celebration in Crimea. Putin made the trip after asking himself, as always, what would King Joffrey do? Scientists reported this week that the rapid melting of the vast glaciers of western Antarctica has reached the point of no return. For more on this story, check out the new film, Worried Feet. I'm really worried. Israel and Hamas have tentatively agreed to President Trump's plan to end the war in Gaza. And you could tell Trump wrote the plan himself. Peace Prize was awarded this week to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, or as Fox News reported it, Trump robbed by deranged Hispanic.
Volodymyr Zelensky has said that if President Trump provides Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles, he will nominate Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. You know, the prize they give you for selling missiles.
President Trump met with Chinese President Xi Jinping. When asked how the meeting went, Trump said this.
But overall, I guess on the scale of from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would say the meeting was a 12.
I guess Trump just wanted to show China we're still way worse at math. Zohran Mamdani was elected mayor of New York City. He was elected. A lot of Sliwa fans.
The bill ending the government shutdown will fund SNAP through next September, and thank God, because I was this close to donating food. President Trump attended a Washington Commanders game on Sunday, and I guess he hasn't been to one in a while because he showed up in Redskin. On Monday night, President Trump made hundreds of posts on Truth Social, including conspiracy theories, attacks on Democrats, and even a video of his cameo in Home Alone 2, which I hadn't seen in a while, and I have to say, the dialogue, it hits different now. Check it out.
Excuse me, where's Jeffrey Epstein?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
I love that the president lost his train of thought and someone in the crowd had to remind him his train of thought was eggs. Sorry, eggs! As you can see from the sign behind him, the theme of the rally was lower prices, bigger paychecks, which was much better than his original economic message, not my fault, sell your blood.
Justice Department announced that it would not be able to release all of the Jeffrey Epstein files by yesterday's deadline. I guess they kept running out of black ink. Those files were so boring. The only interesting thing I saw was this picture of Bill Clinton hugged up on Melania.
President Trump defended the actions of ICE agents in Minneapolis, adding that the day of reckoning and retribution is coming, which is a phrase he stole from that guy who's always pointing at him. President Trump has been inviting world leaders to join his Board of Peace, or be crushed by his council of destruction. Trump's Board of Peace consists of countries such as Russia and Saudi Arabia, which is like if Law & Order SVU starred Diddy. Overseeing the Minneapolis ICE operation, and hopefully he was removed ICE style through the broken window of his car. Bavino was replaced by border czar Tom Homan, seen here just thinking about Bad Bunny's halftime show. Call me crazy, but I just don't see this guy calming things down. This feels like trying to quit cocaine by taking up crack.
Actors on CNN are saying that Trump had no authorization for this war, but he actually did. Netanyahu said it was okay. I can't believe our leader could just attack Iran with no vote, no permission from Congress or anything. I mean, what is this, Iran? Appeared on President Trump's neck, which is just above his collar. Apparently, someone accidentally washed his shirt in holy water. A school board in New Jersey is considering a proposal to rename an elementary school after President Trump. Named Trump Elementary, home of the fighting allegations.
But we can know that I'm Michael Che. Good night.